Hi guys, George here from Zero Period Productions, and with the end of 2015 right around the corner, I thought now might be a good time to discuss the best Skyrim quest mods of the year. Just a heads up, these 5 mods are my personal favorites based on my own opinions and preferences. There were a ton of great mods that came out this year, and just because some mods didn't make this list doesn't mean they're not great mods. One thing to remember is that this top 5 consists only of mods that were released this year, meaning that mods that were originally released in previous years and received large updates are not included on this list. At the very end of the video, I will list a couple of mods that fall into this category though, as honorable mentions. Starting off at number 5 is Summerset Isle by You're Not Supposed to Be in Here. This is a fully voiced new land and quest mod taking place in the Altmer homeland. I'm always a huge fan of new land mods, and the mod author definitely did a lot of things right in creating Summerset. The world space is absolutely massive, with new caves, dungeons, and a few cities. While we don't know too much about Summerset Isle, the in-game map and landscape seem to match up somewhat accurately to official maps of Summerset we've seen so far. As cool as this mod is, and the massive undertaking that it must have been, the mod does suffer from a few issues, most notably the lack of NPCs. Even in cities, you find very few people, let alone characters you can interact with. Some of the quests you take on are a lot of fun, while others feel very repetitive and can be equated to filler content. In the end though, Summerset Isle is a mod you should check out, especially if you're like me and just want new places and areas to explore. Coming in at number 4 is Molag Inferno by the Association of Radical Skyrim Engineers, a team of veteran mod authors. As the title might suggest, the mod contains elements of Dante's Inferno, but with a Skyrim twist. The quest involves entering Molag Bal's realm and exploring the circles within, each one revolving around a different sin, including anger, heresy, greed, and lust. Some of the circles are longer than others, and many of them involve some degree of puzzle solving, and with many of the different areas being designed by a different mod author, it keeps the puzzles fresh and new. The mod includes several boss battles, some of them more difficult than others. One of my favorite aspects of the mod was the overarching narrative as you travel through the various circles. Each circle has a memory left by Dante, who has explored the Inferno prior to your arrival, giving his thoughts on each of the circles of sin. Similarly, as you progress you learn more about Virilia, your companion across the adventure. By and large, I really enjoyed several aspects of the mod, although one area that I wasn't entirely thrilled with was the Circle of Greed. The first few segments of the circle were pretty fun, but the inclusion of jumping puzzles later on became a bit annoying, as Skyrim's jumping mechanics always were a bit clunky. That being said, that's my only true complaint about the mod. Other than that, I had a blast and I thought it was really great to see a mod made by so many prominent authors. Next up at number 3, we have MediEvil Hero of Gallowmere by Korino. This mod recreates the first few levels from the PlayStation original game, MediEvil. And even though I never played any of the MediEvil games, I found this mod to be incredible. In order to start the mod, you have to start a brand new game, and the mod author even adds the game's main character, Sir Daniel Fortescue, as a new race that you can play as. After looking up the original game, this mod seems to be an incredibly well done recreation, and really has a lot of great attention to detail. The mod is fully voice acted, the quality of which is pretty incredible. The mod also makes use of new models, textures, and animations to really help the mod come to life and feel like a brand new experience. The boss battle, the final stage of the mod, even has location-based damage, which is rarely seen in Skyrim. Ironically, I didn't even think to attack the boss's big glowing heart at first because of the fact that it's Skyrim, and usually, attacking an enemy anywhere has the same effect. When you defeat the boss, you have the chance to start your Skyrim adventures from Helgen, or continue to explore the new area, picking up various trivia notes about the MediEvil series. Coming in at number 2, we have one of the best mods this year, if not one of the best quest mods to ever come out for Skyrim. This is The Grey Cowl of Nocturnal by Manny GT. As someone who really loved Oblivion, this mod holds a special place in my heart as it revolves around finding the Grey Cowl as seen in Oblivion, and in doing so, uncovering the resting place of the Champion of Cyrodiil. The mod includes an incredibly well done questline, several puzzles, and new areas including a small desert area in Hammerfell. Puzzles in the mod are definitely thought-provoking at times, and it's very resounding when you solve some of them. The use of new spells and gear, along with the inclusion of gear from Oblivion in order to solve these puzzles, makes for a really unique experience in Skyrim. If anything, this mod's storyline is what Skyrim's Thieves Guild questline should have been, with a focus on stealth and puzzle solving. In addition to the main questline, this mod also includes a handful of side quests and areas to be explored that are separate from the main story. One thing to note is that the grammar in this mod is not perfect, but the mod author is not a native English speaker, which is also something to keep in mind in regards to that. The entire mod is just incredibly well done, with a really resounding and well done ending. This is a definite recommendation, especially if you were a fan of Oblivion. Finally, coming in at number 1, the very best Skyrim quest mod of 2015 is the Forgotten City by the modern Storyteller. The mod starts off fairly simple. You're tasked with finding a lost adventurer inside a strange Dwemer ruin. What starts off as a simple quest leads you on an epic tale filled with memorable characters, time travel, puzzle solving, twists and turns, and trying to solve an ancient mystery that has time and time again led to the death of the city's inhabitants. Time travel is always something hard to do, both from a storytelling perspective and from a gameplay experience as well. That being said, the mod author did incredibly well on both fronts. The mod doesn't hold your hand, meaning that you have to lead the investigation on your own, following different leads and clues before coming to your conclusion, whether it be correct or not. One thing that I really loved about the mod was that the mod author really thought of countless situations, including that if you travel back in time a second time, you have the chance to tell characters that you've already seen this or had this conversation before. Just about every character has their own story, background, and motivations, giving you even more reason to want to save the city and its inhabitants. The mod has multiple endings depending on the choices you make, which is also an incredible feature. In my recorded playthrough, I got what is considered the good ending, which was a great way to wrap up my first time playing through the mod. The ending that I got wrapped up just about every character's story, giving closure to the characters that I grew close to over the course of the adventure. This mod really is one of a kind, and I can't recommend it enough. As I mentioned at the start of the video, there are a couple of honorable mention mods as well. These are mods that came out in previous years but received really great content updates in 2015. First off, we have Beyond Reach by Razorkid, a new land and quest mod taking place just west of the Skyrim border and taking us into a few locations within High Rock. Without going into too much detail, the mod is incredibly well done, with unique locations, quests, and characters. The mod isn't completed yet, and the mod author has stated that their goal is to make this mod fit into just about every category that it can, with a focus on the new area, quests, and new followers as well. This is one of my absolute favorite new land mods out there, and it's a true testament of what the modding community is capable of. Next up, we have Rigmor of Bruma, which recently had its second installment released. Rigmor of Bruma is one of my favorite personal stories and questlines for Skyrim, with much more focus on the relationship between you and the titular character rather than that of saving the world. The mod is incredibly well written, with great voice acting as well. It's also recommended that you play the mod alongside Skyrim's main questline, as it assumes that the Civil War is still going on. Overall, Rigmor of Bruma does something that vanilla Skyrim does not. It gives you characters to connect with and care about, which is something that I always really want from a game. This is the only mod that I haven't covered in Skyrim Saturday. However, if you're interested in seeing my experience with the mod, you can check out the Skyrim modded playthrough. In the description, you'll find links to my videos of all the mods listed in this video, along with links to the respective mod pages. You might have also realized that the quest mods that I mentioned in my top 5 are all mods that I've recorded and done videos for this past year. While compiling this list, I did play through several mods that I haven't covered in Skyrim Saturday or in the modded playthrough, but in the end, the ones that I had wound up covering still proved to be my favorites. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm looking forward to a new year of Skyrim mods.